Please everyone know note the report, note the these notes. BSc Zoology syllabus under CBCS for 5th semester, core paper 5th, Physiology and Biochemistry. Block 1, Physiology 1, Unit 1, Digestion. So digestions are units are 2 units. Digestion and definition and extra and intracellular digestion. What is the digestion and digestion, extra and intra digestions? Then next one, digestion of carbohydrates, proteins, lipids and cellulose. Carbohydrates, lipids and lipids and cellulose. The next 2 units, absorption and assimilation of digested food. Absorption and assimilation of digested food. Role of next block, role of gastrointestinal hormones in digestion. What is the role of gastrointestinal digestion? Role of gastrointestinal hormones in digestion. Then next unit, respiration. Then unit subunits, definition of respiration and respiratory mechanisms, external and internal cellular. Respiration mechanism, external and internal cellular mechanism. Then next subunit, respiratory pigments. What is the respiratory pigments? Which type of pigments are supported to respiratory internal cells? Then next subunits, transportation of oxygen, dissociation, Carus, Bohr effect. Then next one, transport of carbon dioxide and chloride shift. Then next subunit, regulation of respiration, nerves and chemicals. So next to third unit, circulation. Third unit, subunit 1, types of circulation, open and closed circulation. Types of circulation, open and closed circulation. The next, structure of mammalian heart and types of hearts, neurogenic and myogenic. The next one, regulation of heart rate and tricardia and bradycardia. The next one, blood clotting mechanism. And block 2, physiology 2, unit 4, excretion. Subunit, classification of animals on the basis of excretion product and ammoniotelic and ureotelic. Which is the animals are excretion of ammonia? It is called as ammoniotelic animals. And which is the animals are secretion of urea? It is called as ureotelic animals. And subunit is next one, structure and functions of nephron. And urine function formation. Then counter current mechanism. Then next one, unit 5th, muscle contraction. So muscle contraction. Subunit, types of muscles. Subunit 2, ultrastructure of skeletal muscles and fiber, ultrastructure of skeletal muscle, fiber sliding filament theory, muscle contraction mechanism and energetics. Muscle contraction mechanism and energetics. Next one, unit 6th, nerve impulse. Nerve impulse. The first unit, subunit, structure of nerve. Structure of nerve. Then second one, nerve impulse, resting potential and action potential and conduction of nerve. Subunit 2, nerve impulse, resting potential and action potential and conduction of nerve, impulse synapses and types of synapses and synapses transmission. Synapses transmission. Then block 3, endocrine system. Block 3, endocrine system. Unit 7, endocrine glands. Endocrine glands. Subunit, structure, secretion and functions of pituitary gland, thyroid, parathyroid, adrenal glands, and pancreas. Then unit 8, hormone action and concept of secondary messengers. Secondary messengers. Unit 8, hormones action and concept of secondary messengers. Male and female hormones and hormonal control of menstrual cycle in humans. Next one, 9th unit, osmoregulation. Osmoregulation. Male and female hormones, osmoregulations, water and ionic regulation, by freshwater, brackish water, and marine animals. Then unit to 10th, enzymes. Definition, classification, interpretation, and regulation of biochemistry. Then block 4th, biochemistry, biomolecules, and metabolism. The first one, carbohydrates. Classification and functions of carbohydrates. The next subunit to carbohydrate metabolism, glycolysis, Krebs cycle, electron transport, and oxidate to phosphorylation. Then unit 12, proteins. Classification of proteins based on functions and chemicals nature. Then protein mechanism, transportation, and determination and urea cycle. Then unit to last one, unit lipids. The classification of lipids mechanism, and fatty acid synthesis and passive acid oxidation. So these are our syllabus complete, 13 units. So this paper is 5th semester core paper, physiology and biochemistry. Now today discuss about the first one, unit 1, digestion. So what is the meaning of digestion? So digestion means complex particles convert to the simple particles. It is process called as the digestive system. So once again I repeat it, complex materials convert to the simple materials. It is called as the digestive systems. So you have shown the one slides clearly. Yes, this is the digestive systems. Our what is the digestive system? Is the basic terms and basic information. Complex material convert to the simple materials called as the digestion. So digestive system, the energetic GI system, energetic. So because ATP, adenosine triphosphate, gives the energetic instant energy. This is the called as name as glucose. The energetic system, The digestive system will be started on mouth and ending part is the anus. So it is a internal complexes. So it's clearly mouth to anus. The mouth to anus. The digestive system process will be human being started to mouth to anus. So this is the mouth to, this is the anus. Then long tube with different structures and functions. Then this is the long tube, long tube with different structures and functions. Different structures and functions. Then accessory glands like that, internal glands, accessory glands are internal glands. So this is the internal glands are like that, salivary glands, pancreas, liver, gallbladder. So this is the accessory glands. Those the functions will be started on mouth to anus. So next slides, the objectives of digestive systems. So how many objectives of digestive system? And two. So understand the digestive system is series of tubes with a different epithelial and cells equal to mouth to the anus. So the digestive system will be started on mouth to anus. The starting point is mouth, ending point is anus. So it is a different epithelial cells are functions, including a different epithelial cells like that, hormones, gland secretion of some like that, acids. So this is the will be started on mouth to anus. The next one object is describe the four layers in the tubes. Four layers of tubes: mucus, submucus, and muscularis, extrina, and adventrina, and serosa. So this is the four layers. It is a big layer, big process of the intestines, the small intestine and big intestine. This the four layers of tubes is there. Which layer is secretion of some acids and this support to the complex material convert to the simple compounds. So then next one object is describe the structure and functions of each organ. Describe the structures and functions of each organ: mouth, esophagus, stomach, duodenum, small intestine, and large intestines. So it is each and every organs: mouth and esophagus, stomach, duodenum, small intestine, and large intestine. Each and organs and those functions will be started to the digestive system and support to the complex to convert the simple compounds. The next objective is describe the structures and functions of the accessory organs like that. For example, salivary glands, pancreas, liver, and gallbladders. So this is the organs of accessory organs. The next one objectives are understand and describe the control mechanism like that, nervous systems and hormonal pancreas and endocrine mechanisms. So nervous systems are those are two types. Involuntary, so like that, muscles are two types of muscles are helping the digestive system: involuntary muscles and voluntary muscles. Involuntary muscles is nothing but it is the uncontrolled by the nervous. Uncontrolled by the nerve, it is called as the involuntary muscles. Voluntary muscles is the controlled by the mechanism of nerves. Like that, CNS, central nervous system, is the main objectives of commanding to the all information factors of all organs. So this is understand to the describe the control of mechanism gives to the nervous system and hormonals. Hormones are secretion of pancreas and endocrine mechanisms. Then next object is describe the secretory cells in the tubes and accessory glands. And like that, which is glands are secretion of organs are acids or bases. Like that, mostly acids are released to the internal intestine organs. Why? Because it is a melting to the one to another parts. The next one, the next object is, see the next object, understanding why mortality, like that muscles contraction of the tubes is important. Muscle contractions, I'm saying before, involuntary muscles and voluntary muscles. So intestine muscles, like that the food moving mouth to anus and intestines, this is the moving is called as peristalsis moving. Peristalsis moving is helping the muscles, involuntary and voluntary muscles. The next one, explain where and how the process of digestion, absorption, and excretion of absorption, excretion of occurs. Absorption, excretion of occurs. So this is the objectives of systems. The next one, next slide, the plan. What is the plan? What is the digestive system plans? And helping the internal hormones and the internal secretion of glands and hormones, pancreas mechanisms, and nerve impulse and nerve mechanisms are helping to the nerves. So introduction, general concept of digestion. Then the flow food is at the moves through the digestive tract and discuss the anatomy and physiology or each areas. So this is the internal anatomy part. The next one, mouth through esophagus, mouth to esophagus. The next one, stomach. Next, fourth one, duodenum and accessory glands, liver, gallbladder, and pancreas. Then last, final, and absorption place is the very important of small intestine and large intestine. The mostly absorption place is location to the small intestine. This is the digestive tract, the plan. The digestion will be started on mouth to anus. The first one, mouth through esophagus, stomach, duodenum, and small intestine, big intestine. So see the next slides, the readings on digestive one. The Mecklin through and anatomy and physiology, the complete entire approach of book is very helpful to the overview the digestive systems, complete your syllabus. Digestion, like that, to carbohydrates, proteins, and acids. So amino acids and essential amino acids. How many types of essential amino acids? Like that, amino acids classification, two classification: essential amino acids and non-essential amino acids. Essential amino acids, the numbering of 20. So very important. Those are digestive system helping the helping to this particular areas. So next one, see the next slide. See, observe the complete structure. So this is the gastrointestinal tract. So how to the base to gastrointestinal structures, like that. See the fluid input into digestive system, like that, food and drink. This is the 2.0 food and drinks. The next one, the salivary glands. The next to go to the food, the esophagus, like that. This is area of esophagus. This secretion of glands, saliva glands. The secretion of saliva, saliva. It is named as amylase. Amylase. The next one, bile, liver. This is the liver. The next one, gastric secretion, the liver secretion of internal glands secretion. The next one, the complete structure of gastrointestinal tract. The next one, the next slide. See this slide. The physiological process of the digestive tract simplified. slide. See, observe the digestive system. See, this is the first place of food. Second one, digestion parts are make a three parts. First one, the motility. Second one, motility, and third is the absorption. The absorption mainly small intestines. Absorption is mainly so clear. This is the wall. Lumen of digestive tract. This is the lumen of digestive tract. The second column is intestinal fluid. See, this is the intestinal fluids. This is the blood. Blood is the transportation of absorption of mainly absorption of transportation of reach the internal cell organs. So this is the blood is the transportation vehicle. So see next slide. What does the digestive system do? Think about it. The first two functions you think of. What happens when you first small fresh apple like that? This is the complete structure of digestive systems, including two. So this is the this is a small intestines and absorption of blood and track the move like that peristaltic movements. And see, just wait. So this is the main concept of and characteristics. So complete. See the potential cavity. The potential cavity is which type is internal organs and hormones secretion of like that acids and bases. So the potential of posterior of gluteum, embryonal connectivity tissues. So this is the have the three parts is there: duodenum, pancreas, and part of the intestine. So those are three are the participation to absorption mechanisms are duodenum, pancreas, and parts of the intestines. Then absorption goes to the convert to the blood, the transportation to the internal organs, reach the internal organs. Then interpotential, the interpotential like that, boundary single cells and mesothelium. So like that mesothelium and convert to the this is this slide. For the digestive system, general the digestive system. So clearly, the food, water, ions, and pancreas and liver and intestines ions. So this is the food. The food enter to the esophagus and salivary glands help to the complex material convert to the simple materials and adding the water and ions and hormones are secretions of hormones liver and pancreas and dissolve the oxygen and ions. This is the final, this is general concept. The digestion design the tube structures, the control mechanism, neural, the intestine CS. I'm just telling the nervous function. CNS means central nervous system. The central nervous system commanding and signaling pathway to the central nervous systems. The control mechanism of hormonal mechanism, like that signaling molecules and the secretion, motility of muscles and digestion and absorption. So this is the small and easy mechanism. So once again, see, observe, yes. Hello, please unmute. DBT, please unmute. Right. Please unmute DBT. Hello. Hello.
సరే వినిపిస్తలేదు సార్ పక్కన సౌండ్ వస్తుంది
అన్మ్యూట్ చేయండి, ఎవరో మ్యూట్ చేస్తా మ్యూట్ లో ఉంటున్నారు.
అవును సార్, అన్ని అన్మ్యూట్ చేశారు.
మెసేజ్ చేసిన వాళ్ళకి రిప్లై. సో సి నా వాయిస్ క్లియర్ వినిపిస్తుందమ్మా?
వాయిస్ పక్కన ఏదో
ప్లీజ్ అన్మ్యూట్. హలో, ప్లీజ్ అన్మ్యూట్. Someone persons are disturbed. Please unmute. Students all are unmuted. If you are doubt, last 15 minutes your choice. Right, thank you. So this is the structure, is the simple and understanding the what is the digestive system functions. Like that, the food enter to this nozzle, also mouth and also esophagus, then adding the water and ions. Then and hormones are secretions of hormones, liver and pancreas. Then next process, the loss of water and ions. It is the complete absorption methods. So the signal molecules, secretion, motility of muscles, and digestion and absorption. So this is the simple complex and concept to the understanding to the digestive system mechanisms. And next slide, see this one. So this one completely your autonomy body of digestion of the 4 layers of intestine systems. So this is the mucous cells. The first one, the mucous cells of secretion of mucus. It is the help to the food peristaltic movement in this way of track of process way. The very useful to the mucus. Then the mucus secretion to mucous glands. The mucus have the 4 layers, is the epithelium cells. The epithelium cells and lamina propria, muscularis and mucosa. So this is the 4 layers having the mucus. Then next one, submucous part. So this is the blue ink colors as the submucous colors. Submucous, it is supporting to the entire surface of this layer. Then next one, nerve submucosal nerve plexuses. So because nerve plexus is the communication to secretion of how much hormones and how much glands of secretion amylase. So this is the submucosal control too. Why? Because this is having the nervous systems. The next one, muscularis, the inner circle layer. So this is the inner circle layers is called as the inner circle layer is a muscularis, and this is the make a 4 layers, menetric and nerve pulses and outer longitudinal layers. So those are the upper surface layers. So for example, this is a layer, surface layers and intersurface layers. So complete dissection anatomy part, the both are 4 layers of intestinal glands is there. So next one, the sensor adventitia. The sensor adventitia is the like that to complete to the nerve functions and blood cells is there, because the absorption complete absorption of nutricals, they reach the some internal organs. This is the showing the complete digestive system anatomy part structure. Then next one, see so the layers of different diagrams. So this is the internal part and that is the outer side parts. The lamina propria, submucous, different surfaces, sonar, muscular, same. This is the epithelium, laminar, muscular, mucosa. So this is one. Then next one, see this slide clearly. The enteric nerve systems consist of menetric and submucous plexuses, ganglia. So it is the complete name is this is the upper layer. The complete upper layer, it is called as the ganglia. Then inner layer is called as the lumen. Lumen having the 3 parts, mucosa and longitudinal mucosa. Then the ganglions having the 4 parts is there. Myenteric pulses, the ganglion and intraganglion fiber tract and circular muscles and submucous pulses. This is the very important of circular muscles. The circular muscles, it is the involuntary muscles. Involuntary muscles, it is helping to the digestion, secretion of and movements of intestine fluctuations and pressures and secretion of at the same time mucous glands also. So this is the very important of function of circular muscles. The next one, the slide next one, the control mechanism. How to the control mechanism? I'm telling the control mechanism depend by the nerves like that CNS. What is the meaning of CNS? Central nervous system. The central nervous systems having the total complete digestive mechanism under by the this is the nervous system. Neuronal, a short intersonic reflex neurons within the gastrointestinal systems. ENS, enteric nervous system, peripheral nervous system, central nervous system, ENS, CNS, and peripheral PPN. So this is the primary intrinsic reflexation. Intrinsic reflexation means is the receiving of communication. It is the receiving of communication. Where is the source receiving? The receiving gastrointestinal systems are intrinsic nervous system. This is the main object is single signal from the lumen of the ENS, enteric nervous system, and back. The only organ system capable of the using a reflex response without the CNS. Without communication, the CNS, central nervous system, not active. This is the particular neuronal and neurosynaptic functions. Neurosynaptic under control by ENS. ENS means enteric nervous system. This is the not active of CNS. Without CNS functions is including of working of ENS only. Then next one, the bird, long or extensor reflex. The nerves in the CNS outside the ENS. Yes, the long intrinsic. The long functions are controlled by the central nervous system. Signal from the lumen to the CNS back to the gastrointestinal tract. Next, control of hormones. Hormone, which is the organelles or secretion of hormones? Pancreas and liver. Which is the internal organs or secretion of hormones? Hormones are like that. Endocrine cells is the in the gastrointestinal epithelium and endocrine glands like that. Pancreas, endocrine, and liver also. So next one, the control the mechanism. Next one, the neural control of the gastrointestinal system and digestive system. This is the observe this is the CNS and what is the meaning of the brain globes are the human being are weighing 1350 grams. So this is part of 3 parts like look like the this is the structure shape is look like the umbrella shape. This is the forehead. It is the nervous attachment to the communication process to estronic CNS, central nervous system is located is. This is the intrinsic ENS. ENS is the more neurons of the gut than the spinal cord. The neuron structure look like the dendrites, telodendrites, Ranvier nodes, and axon and myelin sheath, telodendrites, and at the same time, it is the having to attach to the spinal cord. Look like the this is the structure is the final cord. Spinal cord. See, and intersonic and internic NS, short reflex and long reflex. PNS, peripheral nervous system. It is the PNS means peripheral nervous system. Neurons intrinsic to the digestive system, DI, digestive system, and intrinsic neuron system. This is the little brain. Which is the little brain? ENS. ENS is enteric neuron system is the little brain, because this is also communicate to the nervous function. The sensory neurons receive the signals from the lumen, which is the lumen main functions is the releasing of sensors. Releasing of sensors. What of sensors? How much is the absorption, and how many hormones are releasing the how many quantity of releasing the hormones, and each and every one the sensor receive signals from the lumen. They contain some mechanism, mechanism conceptors like that, mechanism concept, and chemoreceptors. Chemoreceptors means for stomach stretch. This is the mechaconceptors is the for stretch like that to pressure and stretch is intestine, long intestine, big intestine, and chemoreceptors. Receptors means is the monoreceptor, chemoreceptors is including both are between to the signal receiving and signal processing. So both are chemo receptors and mecha receptors also. The chemoreceptors like that to changing of the pigments like that to pH. What is the pH? pH means is the potential of hydrates. Then osmolarity. Osmolarity means osmoregulation. Then food breakdown of products. Food breakdown of products like that to I'm telling that digestive introduction breakdown, food breakdown, and like that it is the complex to little one. The convert to the complex to little complex to convert to the food breakdown cause of chemoreceptors. Signal go to intrinsic parasystematic neurons. It is called as a rest and digest. This place is the rest and parasympathetic neurons, PNS. Peripheral nervous system, parasympathetic neurons. The parasympathetic neurons is called as the rest and digestion. This particular piece cases cell glands, secretions, and mucous contractions, and sympathetic fibers. Sympathetic fibers shut intrinsic system down. Mostly inhibit parasympathetic neurons and control of blood flow. The interneurons important of local repressions. Then motor nerves to drive smooth muscles. Muscles there are two types: rough muscles and smooth muscles. The smooth muscles is called as complete the involuntary muscles. It is the only controlling by only hormones. See this the next one. Next one, the control mechanism of lung. That is the short. This is the long. So this is the observe the short reflex. It is the short reflex. Then the next slide goes to the long reflex. The input from 5 senses in the CNS signals gastrointestinal system, central nervous system, gastrointestinal systems. The 5 sense organs is there. Starts gland and cell secretion in mouth and stomach. Start muscles contraction with stomach. Like that, it is the peristaltic movements, the contraction of smooth stomach. Or signals in gastrointestinal are sent to the central nervous system. Where is the signals of where the signals are functions to one place to another places. It is called the sensory information and gastrointestinal equal to afferent to CNS and response afferent back to gastrointestinal system. It is called as the reflex. So this is complete responding to the CNS. CNS means central nervous system. CNS sending the signals to enteric neurons like that control gastrointestinal glands and cell secretion. Then control of gastrointestinal muscles contraction indirectly through the mucous cells. The CNS influence can be modified the autonomic NS nerve systems. So it is autonomic, parasympathetic, and sympathetic nerve system. The emotions are different intrinsic systems. The butterflies within the flying 1 minute and talking in front of a class, mouth in dry. Really secretion of urination and diarrhea. So this is the long and short nervous system. So clear observed to the brain to intestinal, small intestine or long intestine. This is the communication signals pathway. See, observe the diagram. The intrinsic nerve system, extrinsic control. So submucous pixels, and it is called mesensers, and mythi-centric pieces, it is the up branches like that. This is the signal pathways. So next one. So next one, the signaling mechanism. So how to the receiving the signaling, the responding of internal organs and receptors. How to the mechanism signaling and the receptors are responding. How to go to and which is the digestive part, which is the unformed particle materials. So those are depend by the mechanism of signaling mechanism. Autocrine signal goes back to cell of organ. Signal goes back to cell organs. It is called as a autocrine. Paracrine signal goes short distance to the nearby cells. Short distance. See, signaling cells. So this is the signaling cells, target cells. So then short and paracrine. This is the paracrine movement. So the endocrine mechanism, blood vessels and lumen, blood vessels and endocrine cells, the blood cell. So this is the mechanism process of controlling of cell signals and lumens. The control mechanism too, hormones mechanism. The endocrine cells taste the chemicals in the lumen. Endocrine release the peptide hormones. The peptide hormones convert to the amino acids. Amino acids, those are two types: essential amino acids, non-essential amino acids. Essential amino acids are 20, non-amino acids 56 or more than 100. So release it to the into CT and then blood vessels. The functions via paracrine and endocrine mechanisms. The control secretion of gland cells, stomach, pancreas, etc. The control enhance or inhibit muscles contractions. Influence of intrinsic and extrinsic nervous systems and inputs of endocrine hormones and endocrine hormones and insulin and glucagon. It is the storage of muscles and liver glucagon. It is the endocrine hormones, insulin and glucagon. Then next one, next to see the next slide. See, next slide, glands. So the very important of glands. Our syllabus is fifth column is fifth unit is block is endocrine glands is there. So that place are very clearly discussed that very clearly glands functions and where is the releasing of gland hormones and where is the reach the target points and different advantages and disadvantages, and this mechanism that class is very discussion that place that unit. The exocrine glands release to the product to the duct systems. So this is the duct symptoms of glands. The endocrine glands release of product into the circulation blood vessels to circulate the target cells. So this is the endocrine. This is the exocrine. Exocrine means is the layer surface. Endocrine is the internal way of internals. So this is the internal circulation. Then enteroendocrine cells is the secretion peptide glands. Gastrointestine is the largest endocrine gland. Then next to see the secretion cells and glands. Secretion cells and glands. Enteroendocrine cells. Enteroendocrine cells like that stomach and duodenum. This is the secretion of some type of acids. The respond the event in the lumen, mechanical or chemical. Taste buds of the gut. It is the taste buds of the guts. Where is the location? Lumen. The secreted peptides, paracrine and endocrine into the circulation. Which is the circulation plus blood vessels. For example, gastrointestinal cells releasing of gastrin. It is the convert to the peptide. Gastrin convert to the peptide. Then gastrin to near cells and enters into the blood vessels and control the cell secretion. And it is the complete muscles motility. Motility means is the process of eating. Then some also respond the CNS neural inputs. Central nervous systems are neural inputs is there. Then next one object is exocrine glands. Exocrine glands cells secretion input into ducts. Salivary glands make water and enzymes. Salivary glands make water and enzymes. H2 means water, hydroxide. Then liver makes a bile ducts. The pancreas make a digestive enzyme and bicarbonate, HCO3, bicarbonate. Duodenal glands make the bicarbonate. It is the HO3 to neutralize the HCl, hydrochloric liquid. So this is the glands secretion, cell glands, and the next one. Motility, muscles movement, skeletal muscles, voluntary control from the CNS. I'm telling that before 10-15 minutes. The voluntary muscles and involuntary muscles are those are functionally two types: voluntary muscles and involuntary muscles. The skeletal muscles is voluntary muscles from CNS, also under control of central nervous system by skeletal muscles. Tongue and pharynx. Then upper 2-3 esophagus, and anal region sphincter. So this is the control of muscles are controlled by the CNS. The next one, smooth muscles. It is the name of the involuntary muscles. It is not uncontrolled to CNS. So intrinsic control from enteric parasympathetic neurons on muscularis mucosa, smooth muscles, and muscularis externa, inner circular and outer longitudinal bands. And next one, external control from the central nervous systems, neurons. Then CNS neurons stimulate ENS parasympathetic neurons. Control muscles in the intrinsic neuron systems modified by the sympathetic neurons. This is the modified to the synthetic neurons. The next one, next slide is smooth muscles motility. Necessary functions, which is the internal functions is necessary. Mixing a food, acids and enzymes in the stomach, slow release of chyme into the small intestines, control movement through small intestine and thus rate of digestion, movement and removal of indigestible material, unforeign particle materials. It is called as indigestible materials. So mainly 90% of absorption of digestive material food absorption is a location place is small intestine. This is the very important point is there, main important. The structure smooth muscle cells. Closely postulated elongated cells, direct to synapses, gap junctions, allow synchronous contractions in the cells. Then action. Depolarization allows calcium influx of release the intracellular calcium and contraction of smooth muscle cells. The next one, causative agents, release of neurotransmitters from ENS neurons, signal molecules, histamine, serotonin, examples, single molecules like that, histamine and serotonin. Then next one, this is the main functions to the stimulus, light and smell. Very important, light and smell. It is the stimulus. Stimulus is automatically enter cell surface layers are reacting and sensory receptors are and stimulating and response. So sensor receptors. The symptomatical decreases. So this is the digestive system response. First one, muscle contraction or relaxation. Second one, exocrine glands secretion, enzymes, mucus, acid, bicarbonates. Then third one, endocrine secretion and peptide, insulin. So this is the stimulus. Stimulus like that stretch, pH, osmolarity, product of digestion. The sensory receptors of neurons, the extrinsic neurons, ganglions, pulses, parasympathetic neurons increase of activity. Which is the activity is there? Smooth muscles are secretory muscles. So this is the green arrows are short reflexes. Blue arrows are long reflexes. So this is the two reflexes is there, blue and green. Then next one, digestion, absorption, and elimination. So this is the very important of digestion and absorption and elimination process. Digestion, breakdown of food stuffs to basic building blocks, sugars, fats, nucleotides. So this is the breakdown of foodstuffs. It is called as a digestive systems. For example, like that, sugars, fats, nucleotides. Then absorption, passage of building blocks from intestines via portal system to the liver. Portal system of the liver. This is the absorption. Then next one, elimination. Release of waste products and recovery of fluids. Waste products means it is a unforeign particle materials. This is a non-absorption of the materials is the elimination. So next one, the summary of the digestion and systems. Series of tubes with the different epithelial and cells is equal to mouth to the anus. The four layers tubes and mucus and extra advantage serosa. So this is the summary digestive systems and four chambers, four layers, mouth and anus and from those the mouth. So this is the one structure is the internal side of digestive system. The important this is the lumen. Clear observe this is the CNS function, cerebral nervous system. Long reflection is the blue, short reflection is the yellowish color. The person short reflection. So this is the complete nervous system. See this one. So sensor nerves associated with the gut. So gut means gut is where is the location? The lumen, vagal apparatus, spinal apparatus. So this is the communications, the nerves in turn, longitudinal muscles and circular muscles, submucous pulses and mucus. So this is the complete the nerve functions. The next one. Next one, efferent nerves in the intestine of the guts. So this is the vagal difference and spinal difference. So this is the complete digestive system diagrams and digestive system control to the hormones and nervous systems and lumen and guts. So this is the our syllabus is digestive system and digestive system functions and next class tomorrow I will explain the respiration systems. Respiration system means oxygen transportation and carbon dioxide transportation and chloride shift, Bohr effect, the regulation mechanism for nervous and chemical systems. So tomorrow I will discuss the respiration class. Yes, anyone doubts, please chart the this. Share location. Yes, anyone doubts? Hello? Are you audible? Hello? Are you audible?
సార్ వినిపిస్తుంది.
ఏమన్నా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయమ్మా?
ఏ డౌట్స్ క్లాస్ టైం టేబుల్ తీసుగానే డైలీ అదే
అర్థమవుతుందా క్లాసు? ప్రవళిక, హలో, ఏంటమ్మా అర్థమైందా? ఓకే ఓకే ఓకే, టుమారో మనం రెస్పిరేషన్ గురించి డిస్కస్ చేద్దాం. ఓకేనా?
డైలీ ఇదే టైం క్లాసా?
టైమింగ్స్ సేమ్ ఇదే 4 to 5.
అదే డైలీ క్లాస్ సార్.
సాటర్డే సండే.
అదే
ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయా?
దుర్గా నీకే అడిగేది.
నో సార్.
ఓకే సరే టుమారో ఐ విల్ మీట్ యూ. మనం కలుసాం రేపు మళ్ళా. మీరు ఎవరు కనిపించలేరు, అందరూ ఒకసారి కనపడండి.
సార్ మీరు వీడియో కాల్ ఆఫ్ చేసి
మీరు కనపడాలి, నేను ఆఫ్ చేసిన. ఎస్, ఐ యామ్ హియర్. దిస్ ఇస్ యువర్ నేమ్? నరేష్. ఓకే, దుర్గా. గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్. ప్రావళిక, ప్రావళిక ఒకసారి నువ్వు కనిపించు. నెక్స్ట్ జాను. ఓకే గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ జాను. నెక్స్ట్ జాను. సరే, రేపు కలుద్దాం. రేపటి క్లాస్ చూస్తున్నా. మంచిగా నోట్స్ రాసుకోండి, ఎప్పుడెప్పుడు నోట్స్ చేసుకోండి, రికార్డ్ చేసుకోండి. ఓకేనా? రైట్. థ్యాంక్ యూ ఎవ్రీవన్. బాయ్.
బాయ్.
దుర్గా
Yes.
ఏది నీ ముఖమే కనిపిస్తుంది నాకు.
Who is there? The remaining people.
ఏమైంది ఇట్లా తిరిగి పెడతలే ఇట్లా అవుతున్నావు మొత్తం. నోట్స్ రాసుకున్నా.
నువ్వు నోట్స్ రాసినావా? జై హింద్.
ఏం చెయ్యింది
క్లాస్ అయిపోయింది కదా అయ్యా.
అయితే ఉండు పిల్లి కడుతున్నావా?
క్లాస్ అయిపోయింది.
అయిపోయిందా ఎగ్జామ్? ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఎన్నిసార్లు పోస్ట్ పోన్ చేస్తారా ఎగ్జామ్ లో?
డిబేట్ పెట్టు మళ్ళా. నాకు అడుగుతున్నావా?
లేదు నేను కాల్ చేస్తాను. ఇంకెవరున్నారు? ఫర్హాద్ జాను. జాను
ఎవరు? జాను ఎవరు?
ఎవరు ఉన్నారా ఇంకా? దుర్గా అది టెస్ట్ పేపర్ తెచ్చుకున్నావా? బుక్స్ తెచ్చుకున్నావా అంటున్నా.
లేదు, పోవాలి. పోతా నేను రేపు కానీ మండే కానీ పోతా.
నేను రేపు వెళ్దాం అనుకుంటున్నా. పోటీకల్లే తెచ్చుకుంటా.
సరే, క్లాస్ లో ఎందుకు, నార్మల్ గా అందరం మళ్ళీ వినవనిస్తాం.
ఎవరు ఉన్నారు ఈ క్లాస్ లో? ఒకరు కూడా లేరు.
ఉన్నారు, 4 members ఉన్నారు.
ఫర్హాద్ జాను అంట. బాయ్ మరి. బాయ్
బై.